So today, Jorge Rivero will present, we all know, of course, as the head of our communication and outreach office for 2 years now already. He will present us a nice talk about astronomy for peace. I know him actually from Tenerife. I've done PhD there, and I was living with him for 1 year, which was remarkably well. We talk about it later. And then he went off to Germany, where he did 2012 his PhD at the Maximilian University in astrophysics. He also has a postgraduate degree in journalism and communication in science. And then he worked 6 years at GIVE, which is an amazing acronym of acronyms, in the Leiden Observatory in Netherlands, where he organized a lot of very important things, the IAU 100th anniversary, International Year of Light 2015 from the UNESCO, and worked on a lot of European space education for 6 years, and then for 2 years now already. And so please.
Thanks, Manuel. Okay, hi everybody. Thanks for coming. This has been like a week, like a really long week, at least for me it was, for you as well. And you have been listening to talks for 3 days straight, not working that much, and maybe working during the talks. So thanks for coming here to a talk that it's not, let's say, same pace. It's a bit not research in astronomy, but I guess that doesn't mean it's not something that it's also interesting, no? I hope that I put this title Astronomy for Kids so you could see what the hell we are going to talk about. I mean, I think it's obvious. I'm probably imagine John Lennon in the bed with the guitar and everything like that, but it will be a bit like that. Let's talk about peace. About peace first, if this works, which it doesn't. So yes. So let's talk about peace, because what's peace? I guess when people think about peace, I guess they think about no war, no violence, and I guess that's true. But then I guess when people started to think about and trying to research about peace, about how we can keep peace, they starting to maybe define different topics. So I'm going to just talk a bit about these two things. That Johann Galtung in 1964 was one of the first person that started researching about peace. He was a mathematician and sociologist from Norway, and he and collaborator developed this framework where they talk about negative peace as I guess what people think when they think about peace, which is just the absence of violence, or let's say war, or the fear or absence of fear of violence. And they were talking about that we need to really discuss about positive peace in the way that if we want to keep peace or build up peace, we need to look into the attitudes, also the structures, the vision, because there are all these, even though if there is no war or there is no maybe risk for the physical situation of person, there are all these structures in society that are violent in a way, and then for that we need to work into, like, personally, but also we have to work on the structure institution to create peaceful societies. So this is and I guess that's when, let's say, if you have war or conflicts, probably you have to pass through negative peace first, and then you can go to positive peace. But then maybe there are situations that there are this negative peace, but you are not really working towards maintaining or making better situation for people. So in a way, if we look into these, like, supporting the structures that make like these peaceful societies, it's important to talk about peace building in a way that, well, I guess, maybe everyone, it's this, but I guess peace is not a state, it's just a process. So it's something that we need to always build in a way. And I guess it's something that has to have like a sort of global approach. It not only needs to come from, let's say, individuals, but it needs to transform the functioning structures that we have at different levels of society. And I guess there are many factors for this peace building, but peace education actions are essential strategy for this peace building, and this has been like used in many. There are many examples on different countries. Colombia is really an example of this, to use this in formal settings. I mean formal education settings, in a way, in the schools, let's say, in the programs, in the curricula of the educational system of the country. There are different examples in Colombia, Philippines, Kenya, etc. But I guess when we're talking about this, when you're always talking about schools and education, like formal education, usually they are quite rigid systems, and sometimes it's very difficult to change things only with these formal structures. And I guess, well, you really see it that you need to work also. This needs to be complemented a bit with non-formal education, meaning things that are done outside the school or by actors that are not like the school system. We can really see that, for example, in the Magnet program. No, Magnet program, it's something that it works in a school setting, but it's also supported by, let's call it non-educational actors like ourselves or the Buffet Foundation. So this is something that, let's say, give like sort of a scaffolding to what people are doing in schools. So I guess it's quite important to be supportive on this process. And I guess this, let's say, enter us or the type of organization that we are, these research centers or that, and why astronomy for peace? I guess, well, if we go into like the concept, fundamental things of astronomy, I guess it helps us understand our place in our universe, and I guess it fosters a sense of global citizenship. You can see here, we always, I mean, I really love when we do like these outreach activities to have this earth ball, and then like the picture we have here, no, and then you can really talk with children and well, make them realize a bit that, well, in space there are no these national boundaries, there are no these you can really use this as a way of telling people that are in regions that are maybe in conflict or were in conflict in the past, so that all these borders and physical things that they are really fighting about, if you look at it from the space, they are not there. And also, well, we can also see about this overview effect. This is something that astronauts report now. When they are in the space, they have this feeling of connected with our Earth and this type of thing. So you can also talk about this effect for trying to foster a bit of this feeling of global citizenship. I guess something that is important to discuss to say when we use this astronomy for this peace type of activities, it's because, yeah, I guess the more we know about the universe, the more the humbler we are in a way, because, yeah, we're part of one planet out of millions or thousands that we have discovered. Our sun, it's like a very common star. There are many galaxies like ours. We are not in the middle of our galaxy, but at the same time, our life is so precious. There is no alternative. Let's say there is no planet B, as they always use this term, this motto. So we have to also cooperate and be good to each other in a way. And I guess we can all summarize all of this in the famous image of the pale blue dot taken in 1990, and then I guess this famous quote from Carl Sagan, like, well, I guess, look at that dot, that's here, that's home, that's us. And I guess this is a way of humbling ourselves and try to think why we can use this type of framework for these activities or actions where we are trying to bring people together using astronomy. And especially when using formal education or even informal education, the sky is something that is captivating to people of all ages, or all throughout its history. And I guess it's very important because from the start point, you engage people, and you can use that as a way, as a spark to make them work together in a way. So there is something, well, this smile effect, you can always see how someone, when it's looking through a telescope, really see what you are pointing in the telescope, because they are going to see probably 99.9% of people will smile directly. So you know that people are really looking at that and not there, and the image is not blurred or went out of the field of view. So that's something that you can always use in a way to connect with people. So there are a lot of examples of projects that have used astronomy for peace, let's say, or to connect people in conflict regions. There are examples in Colombia, really good examples. There are examples in South Africa. I think even in India, Pakistan, but I'm going to talk just of the ones that I participated. So I'm talking about this project that is called GalileoMobile, that we started. Fabio del Sordo, who until a couple of months, he was a colleague of ours. He's also a member of this program. And then he has participated in all of these things that I'm going to talk about as well. So I'm here, but Fabio could be giving this talk perfectly instead of me. So GalileoMobile. So this is something that started in 2009, well, 2008, in preparation for the International Year of Astronomy. So we were, long story short, we were like people mainly in Munich doing the PhD, and there was this idea of bringing to build a project to talk with to share astronomy in communities that usually don't get access to this type of program. So and then they gave us 50,000 euros to people that didn't know how to do this thing. It's crazy because now it's really difficult to get money, and we went to months working with local communities in Chile, Bolivia, and Peru. And from there, well, we started doing different things in different countries. And over these years, it's been already 17 years. We have changed our approach. We always were conscious of, we were not imposing our views to people. We're always going to places where they were calling us, there was a local institution, that we were always learning from people in the regions. It's not us coming from these Europeans or these Western people coming to talk about what are imposed something. But even though from the beginning, let's say, we have like a sort of open approach, over the years, we have realized and we have learned a lot about sort of not be, what's the word, colonizing people and having colonizing approach for this type of work. Anyway, I'm going to talk about two projects, and one project you have already maybe listened to different things, mock talks, or if you saw the documentary, this Amanar project, or because also some people have participated in activities we do every summer. But I was also going to talk about a project that was part of GalileoMobile, that is called Columba-Hypatia, in Cyprus, in the divided islands of Cyprus. So, and I guess this is probably one of the best examples of this astronomy for peace framework. I'm not saying this because I'm part of it, because there is other persons that are more involved in this project, that were really the minds behind it, but also because it has been also recognized as good example for this. So just to give you a context, Cyprus, this you see there a map. It's an island. It's in the Mediterranean. It's next to Turkey. So, and there are two main communities in the island. It's the Greek Cypriots and the Turkish Cypriots. Sorry, with my accent, with another accent, it's really difficult to say Cypriots. They have been living separated for 50 years. So there is you see the southern western part that is called the Republic of Cyprus. So in the 74 there was a coup d'etat, and then the Turkey took advantage, invaded part of the island, and then they self-declared this state that is called Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. So there is a divide in the island, and it's and the capital that is of it's in the middle, Nicosia. It's the last set of divided capital, if I'm not mistaken, in the world. So you have this buffer zone that is the red line, that is the buffer zone controlled by the United Nations, and you also still have a checkpoint to go to the north. It's open, so it's not. I think if I'm not mistaken, 2003, it was possible to cross it, but usually people tend to not interact with different communities in a way. So there is a member of GalileoMobile that is called Francesca Fracudi. She's now a professor in Durham, in the UK, and at the time she was in the Max Planck in Munich. So she had this idea to start this project that is called Columba-Hypatia, no? The Columba is the dove in Latin, no? So we have this logo here, so this symbol of peace. And then the idea was to have this grassroots initiative using astronomy as a way of bringing together children, but also, well, different adult communities as well, but children to be, to inspire them to be curious about science, to use what they have, because they are at the same sky. So to use that as a way of encourage a way of they know each other, talking together, and have this sense of global citizens, and still this culture of peace. This was done in collaboration with there is an organization there in Cyprus that is working a lot with peace education. That is this Home for Cooperation, that they have like a headquarters. It's a small organization, but they have this headquarters in the buffer zone. So between as you see there in the Nicosia, in the red stripe, and they have a lot of experience working with in these frameworks of try to how can we think about all these type of activities in not in science education activities in any field. And this was a collaboration between GalileoMobile and this organization. So the main target was children, but also maybe working with children in schools. There were these monocommunal activities, meaning there were activities in the Greek Cypriot part, and in the Turkish Cypriot part, working, educational astronomy, had some activities with schools, telescopes, all that type of things. And then the best part of this project is these bicommunal activities in the buffer zone, where we took the children from both sides, and they have this interaction, trying to learn about each other, because for some of them was the first time they were talking with someone that was from the other part. And the activities were a bit of focus, trying to break down these stereotypes. For example, we have this activity that is the golden record from this Pioneer, that were this golden record that was set with the spacecrafts. So in case some alien civilization will find it. So one of these activities was to make a Cyprus golden record with both communities. I have a short video, so you can know about it.
What I want us to do today is to make our own golden record from Cyprus, okay? What we would want to send to an alien civilization that would be representative of all of Cyprus, okay?
This is a very nice activity. It's based on the golden record that's on the Voyager spacecraft, which were launched in the 70s. Well, it was more symbolic than anything, but the idea was if these spacecrafts were to ever be intercepted by an alien civilization, for us to give kind of a token of Earth.
So, for example, images of people, images of natural landscapes, animals, sounds of Cyprus, which could include nature, sounds of animals, music, different musics from the island, our languages, different languages that are spoken on our island, food of Cyprus. And I want to know if you have any other ideas of topics that you think would be important.
And this is really great because it gives the children an opportunity to discuss about different things that they want to send, that is representative of all of Cyprus, that are actually similar between the different communities in Cyprus, but also the differences, which are very interesting. And so, so the idea is to build a golden record from Cyprus as a representation of our country, of our common.
What's your favorite food? Sarma. Sarma. We will find some, but
The kid that was dancing was great. He spent the whole time since he arrived. I want to dance. I want to dance for them. I want to dance for them. And until he dance for me, he wouldn't shut up. But anyway, here they are all together with the golden record. Quite happy. But let's hear from them what they thought about the activity.
Birbirimizin hakkında bilmediğimiz çok şey var. Onun için her şeye kendi bakış açımızla bakmamız. Eşit olmamız lazım. Hypatia, Mitis, είναι σαν εμάς, σαν να έχουμε το ίδιο αίμα, σαν adέλφια. Kötü kaldı. Onları gördüğüm zaman kendimi dışlanmışız hissediyorum. Ama birlikte tanıştığımızda daha iyi oldu. Ναι, στην αρχή δεν μου άρεσε και τόσο πολύ, επειδή δεν καταλάβαινα τη γλώσσα τους, αλλά μετά καταλαβαίνα τι έλεγαν λίγο. Μιλούσαμε αγγλικά.
When you start to look at their point of view, you can understand them. And understanding a person, people, will increase your empathy.
İlk gördüğüm zaman onlar hakkında pek iyi şeyler düşünmedim. Şimdi onlar hakkında daha iyi ve insan gibi düşünüyorum. Yine filipina mestia, κατανομελικές φασονάρες, όρκομαι όλοι να χορεύουν, να διασκεδάζουν και να μην τους λυπεί και να μην βρίζονται, να μην τσακώνονται. Ben açıkçası memnunum. Hiçbir sorunumuz yok bence. Sayı barış dışında.
Okay. Well, so you heard from them, not from me. But anyway, just to give you a bit of the impact of the project, until 2019, I will say why. We have 7 children from primary schools, well, members of the public, because there are also some type of sky star parties and stuff like that. So they were from both sides of the island, like interacting with each other. We have this documentary that you can find on YouTube. This is a short one with that many views until 2019. And well, the project was recognized. You see here, Francesca, by the Fallen Wolf Foundation, as the Science Engagement of the Year award. And then also was recognized as a best practice for using astronomy for diplomacy for the Office of Astronomy for the Development from the IU. And we also got some grant from the centenary celebrations. But I say until 2019 because there were many plans, but 2020, the pandemic happened. So automatically the checkpoints were closed. It was both, you cannot travel to other countries, let's say. And things were like completely interrupted until 2021, where the checkpoint was open again. And yeah, and then there were, but also some personal reason because the projects was not happening as the scale that was happening before. In the videos you see are from 2017. So this started 26, from 2017 to 2029, there were two like big, let's say, projects happening there. And now I will tell you later about what's happening next about this, but it's trying to be resumed the project, even though activities from the people participating in each region are still happening. The main things about coming people together are hopefully resuming soon. Then just change of pace. Let's talk about the other project that I want to talk about.
Can I just ask a question based on the previous project? What like the duration of the project? Is it like a few hours with a group of children, or is it something that was lasting more day?
So let's say the monocommunal activities, meaning the visit to schools, were just like a couple of hours going to school, interacting with them, maybe have 45 minutes for a hands-on activities, maybe a bit more with the telescope for the whole telescope observation for the whole school. And this was like maybe 3 or 4 visits per school with different activities. The format of the bicommunal activities was like a sort of a morning. So it was maybe 3 hours where they also had some food and they could also play around. It was the sort of opening talk, something about getting people together. Then mainly we did this golden record activity. Sometimes we maybe organize another hands-on activity about constellation, planets, scales, this type of thing. Then we have telescope and a bit of time for them to just play football, play hide and seek, do whatever they do. Did you see when they were talking, there was like a sort of play yard where they can run around, have fun. And then there was some food as well. So that was the main activity for kids. And then maybe in the day that I was there in one of the legs of the project, that was in May 2017. So we did the bicommunal activity. In the morning was that, and then in the afternoon we have some talks from the sort of like a how do you say that, like science cafes, where the people participating gave a talk, and there were adults there, and then we also had star party. So and it was open for all community, both communities. You imagine that we have to do this in 3 languages, because we had to do, there were the kids that spoke Greek, the ones that spoke Turkish, and then people from the both communities. So we had to translate to English. So that one. So anyway, but you can do it. It's maybe you cannot do million things. You can do 2 things, but it works, and we have seen it in many situations. But that's pretty much the type of activities. The Amanar project is about the Sahrawi situation, the Sahrawi refugee situation. So I will give you a quick context for those of you who haven't seen this. Maybe it's a repeated slide, but just to let you know where we are. So the Canary Islands, I'm from Gran Canaria. Irrelevant. Anyway, the Western, so this part is the Western Sahara. This was the 53rd province of Spain. Well, this was, it was colonized during the 19th century, and for almost 100 years, it was a province from Spain. The people there they were Spanish. And then when in the 70s, in 74, around Franco was about to die, there was this the meeting with the former king of Spain, the king of Morocco, representative from Mauritania, and they said, okay, this is for you. And Morocco invaded the Western Sahara, and because Spain left, the Spain army left, so Morocco invaded the Western Sahara, and then people had to flee to the Algeria, that gave to this land here near Tidjouf, and they settled in different camps. This part of the desert is called the Hamada. This means the desert of the desert, so it's one of the worst regions of the Sahara Desert. And what happened then is that, well, people started fighting. People from Western Sahara started fighting. So they have like a war for 16 years, 17 years. And in 1991, there was a ceasefire established by the UN, because they established a peace plan. And you have then 2 sides. You have the occupied part, which is the yellow one, and then the recovered part, which is from the Polisario state, from the government. There is a what they call the wall of shame, because there are I don't know how many minefields, but this is covered with minefields. So in 91, the UN said, okay, let's make peace. We'll make a self-determination referendum. That never happened because France is in the State Council of the United Nations, and they have the veto power, and France is always working with Morocco. So, well, this never happened. People started growing, I don't know why it's here. And then in 2020, the Polisario Front considered the ceasefire with Morocco and declared war again. So now we have a war. We have a war 100 kilometers from Fuerteventura, or less than 100 kilometers. Well, a bit more, maybe in the border. So they are at war. And there are over, it's here, sorry. And we have around 200,000 people in a situation that for 50 years, so this year it will be the 5th anniversary, that is both temporary and permanent. So their main challenges are they are reliant on humanitarian aid. There is almost no trade economy. I think I read 90% of people there are food insecure. So that means they don't know where the next meal maybe gonna come. They get some maybe food from, well, they get food support from the United Nations, from the UNHCR, like ACNUR in Spanish. And they have also, there are many different organizations supporting them also, and also personal people with connection, mainly from Spain, supporting them. They have problems supplies of water, fresh food, medicines. So I was just to get you the overview. So here, when we were alerting about the drought, about in Barcelona, the minimum, there was like a limit of 250 liters per person per day. What is recommended is a minimum of 90. Like in the worst case scenario, it's maybe 50, 25. So they receive 17 per day, 17 liters per day. So that's the condition there. And I guess even with the food now, it's even more difficult because the prices with inflation last year were over the moon. So, and I guess something that maybe is related to the project as well is that they have few opportunities for use. People, they have maybe basic education. Some of them go to high school in Algeria, in Tindouf, and even some of them have go to Cuba, or if they have these agreements with Cuba. Cuba is very supportive of Western Sahara, but after that, they don't have many things to work on or to do. Maybe some people come here as well. There is a program that comes during the school year, so people study here, but that's very few opportunity. So there are many So there are many things actions that are not only like humanitarian action, but are also try to be in this refugee situation that are more developmental actions, and there are work on supporting sort of cultural activities to give some sort of support on the resilience of people, because they suffer maybe a lot of problem with mental health, and I guess there are a lot of programs about sports, cultural things. In science, it's in the same kind, let's say, we'll say about contributing to this human capital or science capital of people, no? So just to go a bit fast because it's 35 already. So the Amanar project, so it's one of these GalileoMobile projects trying to bring together these communities and inspire young Sahrawis through astronomy. That's sort of like the basic thing. We started this project in 2019. So that was the first time. So that's before the ceasefire. So and it's composed of mainly two things. There is the summer program. There is something that is called Vacaciones en Paz that is working for a long time. That is a program that brings the children from the Sahrawi camps to Spain. And then they spend the summer with families. They go to the doctor, they get checkups, and also they have a lot of activities and fun activities. And we said, why don't we make one of these nice fun activities about astronomy? And we started this in Canary Islands in 2019, support from the Instituto de Astrofísica Canarias, and then we were super eager. Okay, let's do program of activities, many things, blah blah blah. They say they have a lot of things to do. Maybe let's start with one activity. We bring them. It was in Tenerife, La Palma, Gran Canaria. In Tenerife and La Palma, I went to the observatories. It was fun. We have this. They were to Erantecan. It was amazing. In Gran Canaria, we don't have these telescopes. But when we went to school, we organized a night of activities there, and it was quite fun. Well, yes, COVID-19. They couldn't travel anymore until 2022 when we resumed it, and then with different contacts and people that were interested by the project. So we extended to 6 regions, and our institute started doing things in Barcelona 2 years ago. when I arrived, and with Fabio. And then we are organizing from 2022 now in 7 regions with the collaboration of these astronomical institutions. In each place, they organize it themselves. We have some budget for a small budget for expenses, for maybe activities or for the Pika Pika. And then we are doing this, and hopefully we'll do for as long as we could or as long as it's necessary. Well, you see the pictures here in the Gran Tecan, in Granada, in the Museo de las Ciencias del Cosmos in Tenerife, in the ICE-CSIC in ESA, Madrid, and then, well, in other places. In Barcelona, yes, we went to Castelldefels in 2023. We have different people participating, so thanks to all of you. Some of you are here, and then you can see Abubakar, you can see Daniel over there, I think Claudia with the red t-shirt, Manuel, Manuel's the daughter that is here as well. It's the picture. And it was quite fun. And we did that in Castelldefels, and last year we went to Barcelona to Vila Urania. And we have this collaboration with them, and they allowed us to organize the activity there. And what was cool that it's that in 2023, it only came people from organization in Castelldefels, so the people that bring the children in Castelldefels. But then in next year, there were people from the Terrassa, from different neighborhoods in Barcelona. So slowly, but it's getting, they know us more, so we can do more things. We have been in the camps twice, in 2019 October, and then in last May, we went there for a week, and it was quite challenging going back in a way, because it also, I mean, you cannot just go and stay there, and you need to have the permissions, you need to go in an organized trip, you need to have all your papers with all the, they took us to a room just to check what was the big box with the thing that with mirror. So you have to really have everything in check. Just to going quickly, in the schools, with the activities, we did the golden record activity as well, teacher training with things that we brought with us. And yes, and that's the impact, but that's, well, those are numbers, it's not really important. I guess maybe I'm going to focus in this next 10 minutes about the other things that we do apart from the educational activities. Another way of supporting people there is bringing money there. Let's put it like that. And we have this collaboration with the Sahrawi Secretary of Oral Communication, because they wanted to have support to research and keep their tradition, the astronomical tradition, because they are the Sahrawi community. The tradition is more like an oral tradition in a way, and there were a lot of things that they have this knowledge of the sky because they move with the stars in the sky and many things, and they were getting lost. So they wanted to research on this. So they have, with these grants that we have, we were able to provide fellowships for them. And this is like a work also learned from our side by a expert in cultural astronomy from the ICE-CSIC in Santiago de Compostela. And then, and then we also brought some materials and online training. But then there were mainly interviews from the Sahrawi, our collaborator there. But also when we went there, we also took opportunity to just sit down with the wise men and women of people that knew really about this, that were maybe transmitted from their parents, mothers. And yes, and then we're preparing like a book about this. Hopefully this year it will be out. But I have here some like sort of information. Well, they have the year divided in 4 seasons in a way, like 90 days. It's based primarily on the absence and presence of rain. They have a star calendar, and what they do is they have 28 months, and they use the moment that a new month starts is when they see a sort type of a star just before the rise of the sun, let's say. And that's when that star is there, the first time they see it is when the month of that starts enter. And they have this been 28 months, and each month is 13 days for there. And it's also related to a sort of meteorological characteristics. For instance, we have Suraya, worst pronunciation ever, so don't trust me on that. It's how they call Pleiades. You can see it here. And when they see it first time in the eastern horizon before sunrise, it's when the Suraya month begins. They also have a lot of this traditional knowledge, legends, like we could have here as well, or things that they use. For instance, when Suraya, when Suraya rises before the sun, you have to give a son a water skin, so something like a bottle of water. That means because that happens around June, July, and it's when the really warm, like 50 degrees, starts in a way. And when Suraya rises at sunset, you have to give your son like a blanket because it's when the November, when it's cold there. So they have all these, traditional knowledge that they apply. They also have, we have talked with them, and they also have a lot of like legends relating the constellation that you see in the sky, that I don't have time to tell you. But we organized, for instance, a super cool activity in La Coruña, in the planetarium, where each day they saw the sky of the day. And what we did was to saw the sky of the day in the Western Sahara, and then we start talking about all these things with people, and then we talk about the legends that we have here, the legends that they have there. So just to have this comparison. And just to finish, to go into the end, our also goal for this project is to share all of this with global audience. We had a filmmaker in our group that it's quite good. And then what we did for this project, or he did for this project, completely he did by himself, was to have this transmedia narrative that was co-created with the Sahrawi people, that is involving virtual reality, but also other type of, like there is a linear documentary, there is even an installation that we have it in Brazil, and a lot of people went to see it. And these are like the same as scenes from the virtual reality. Because of the pandemic, we couldn't do the virtual reality, so a museum was crazy enough to let him build things and have it them displayed. So this project goes just beyond, let's say, Spain or the Western Sahara. It's trying to bring things, this conflict of Western Sahara to everyone in the world. We went back to the camps. We had the opportunity in May because there was the cinema festival. So we were able to bring back this virtual reality stuff to them. Where we wrote an article about experiences from this, how people are experiencing this virtual reality. And yeah, just to give you a few hints. Well, it was interesting to see, even though virtual reality is usually a very, like say, as isolated thing, that people were using it as a community experience. There were always a lot of things happening around them. People were even helping people to navigate through this virtual reality, helping us also in the translations. There was this girl that was really afraid of it, but then only when her mother was next to her, she could do it, and it was quite interesting to see. We got some feedback in different formats. This was a really interesting, nice thing that we got. This person, it's someone that came from Senegal to the Canary Islands in a boat, just to go to another country and to look for different things in his life. And what he felt when he finished this experience was a bit of, he told us, like what he felt is what he thought people need for this trip, like having this feeling of I don't know, wonder of the universe and endless possibilities. And it really felt as it was really emotional, this part of this activity. And yeah, this is like an amazing person, and I wanted to just to share this. Anyway, just to finish because it's almost 1. What's next for this? So we're not done. The Columba-Hypatia, Francesca Fragudi, she's now established in Durham. She got a really big grant for her research. And then she's establishing a sort of a STEM summer camps. So she's bringing people from the Cyprus, children from Cyprus there. I don't know, I think this year will be the first one, but I have to check. But so there will be like these people from Cyprus, from both sides, but also people from the UK. And I think it will be, it's just for girls, but I think it will be like a one hell of a project. For you treat here Columba-Hypatia, it's supposed to be Amanar, but I forgot to change it. Well, we are preparing, hopefully we'll prepare a new proposal for funding. So to keep this astronomy study, to keep having these grants for them. And they want to produce like educational sort of products, didactic units for bringing this knowledge to a school. So there will be hopefully money for someone to go around all the schools in the camps talking about this information, and also maybe buy some VR sets so they can also bring the VR experience. We want to continue the summer program, so if anyone is interested to participate this year, it's very welcome. Anyone here in the institute, and we can even hopefully we can discuss it with time, and we can prepare together, improve it. And we are expanding to Italy. Fabi is back in Italy, so it will be easy to do it there because there are some children that go in the summer there, and we have some people from enough in Rome that wants to participate. And I want to, but I don't know if it will be possible to do that, some activities with the children that spend a year here with this madrasa program. They come to high school here. And yeah, and if we have some money left from all the previous grants, so we can return to the camps and then support these people that are hopefully continue the astronomy or working with the schools. We can support what they want to do. And just to finish, well, some reflections on my side on this. I think astronomy is like a powerful tool for bringing people together in these regions that are neighboring regions, that are this conflict, especially in the post-conflict situation in a way. I don't mean like going to a place where there is like an active conflict, because maybe you are like, maybe it's like you go in good nature, but then maybe you are making it not really helping, but trying to support this peace building or this sort of trying to share with this type of communities that were in conflict. I think astronomy is like a catalyzer that could help from that because it captivates people from all ages. And I guess there are two main things about working with this in this type of project. You have to work with local institutions. So, and then you have to, this is not like a one-time thing. This is something that you need to do in long term so don't leave people behind. And there are different projects that have done more of a better evaluation than us in a way. That's something that we need to work on to really. The problem is sometimes we don't have like the structure to do that, but it's try to evaluate more and try to really have a better understanding of the effects. There were different projects like trying to in South Africa at least, but trying to test this pale blue dot effect, this sense of global citizenship when you're using astronomy with children. And then, but I guess from the video I saw you on Cyprus, there were these interactions, and then there were these discourse that the children are having that this have an impact in them. But I guess this is something that, yeah, you have to do, I guess, a more systematic way and maybe try to check up with these kids now that it's going to be like almost 10 years in the way. And yeah, and that's it. Thank you very much.
Amazing work. Are there any questions?
No, just a comment, Jorge.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I can give you offline a connection. That we have a very close colleague working with our group in cosmology, which is called Amanar, who is Sahrawi.
Okay.
And he now turns out he was in Boston, where I'm also visiting. And he's now the UK scientist, the UK space scientist. He's the head of the UK space. And he usually goes there to with his family. Well, his family is in the UK. They sometimes go there. Anyway, I was thinking this could be an interesting connection, no? Because in UK space, work with us, it has been here many times.
Yeah,
It's
that's
also
good.
an interesting family, so his wife is from Taiwan. So the kids are in the conflict borders, not Taiwan and stuff.
Anything else you want to ask? So, amazing work.
I have a question on the Columba-Hypatia. You mentioned like the feedback you receive from the children, but like what about the teachers? If they, for example, say that experience changed their way to see their side of the
Some of the one that there was in a video, it was one of the teachers participating that was also involved in the program. So I think I know the feedback more about the teachers that were involved in the program more than the teachers that participated there. I guess I don't think there was a sort of evaluation on the teachers, because what happened, at least in the ones that I participated, was that the teachers and the schools allow us to go, but it was a bit more okay, you do your thing with the kids, but they were not participating on the activities with us. So it was a bit, and at least I'm not sure what happened later. I need to find out. Maybe I'll tell you later. But the ones in 2017, it was a bit more like that. They even the project didn't happen because the schools were not supporting the projects. But this organization, this AHDR, the one in the buffer zone, they had like a big project from the United Nations that it was called IMAIN, that it was using peace education. So they had a lot of money for this project and a bit of pool. So they convinced the schools that let us participate, but they were not like part of it. And sometimes it was a bit not, let's say, policy from the government, but it was more like a director of the school institute that was more like, I don't believe in this. I'll do it because they are from above telling me you have to do it. But it was so then the work was more in the children. So there was no, for instance, this project, there was no teacher training. So it was more like the children, and also these activities with open for everyone. So that was because they tried, but they had all this resistance from the structure. Let's say.
Maybe one more question.
So feel welcome to if you want to participate in the summer activities. The problem is it's summer, it's about time, July, August, but we'll make it work if you want to participate, okay? And if any of your research projects have money, maybe.
This photo will be again in Castelldefels.
Let's see if we do it in Villa Urania in Barcelona. Or maybe we can invite them here to the institute. I think I will try to talk with the different organizations from in Castelldefels, Terrassa. There are some on the neighborhoods in Barcelona, and see what's best, because maybe Barcelona maybe it's best for everyone that maybe coming here or
How long? is that?
An afternoon, an afternoon, an afternoon. Usually, July, it has to be July, August, but it's probably maybe end of July, beginning of August, end of August. That depends also on the holidays of everyone.
You just ask us, no, we will make.
So, we will ask.
Yes. Okay, thank you so much.
Sarah.